What's good, word? How we doing today? MIAB, I'm back with another reaction video. Appreciate everybody that tunes in. We already know y'all seen the part 1 to this. This is just going to be the part 2 to the 15 dark cartoon theories that will ruin your childhood. Gotta read it because I'm over here forgetting. And then, yeah, if y'all like it up and y'all comment and stuff like that, then I'll make sure that I'll do more of these, even though I'm probably still going to do more of these whether y'all do that or not. But appreciate everybody tuning in. Let's jump straight.
Number 7. The Brenda Theory. The Powerpuff Girls are one person. According to this conspiracy theory, the Powerpuff Girls are not 3 different girls with superpowers, but rather 3 different personalities of one very normal girl called Brenda. It is believed that Brenda developed dissociative identity disorder, also known as multiple personalities disorder, after years of enduring savage bullying from her brother. It's important to note that this disorder is very real, and it's only caused by a person suffering from an experience so incredibly traumatic, they literally invent another personality that is more equipped to deal with the pain. So Brenda creates 3 different girls with very different character traits that bravely fight the villains on a daily basis.
Leave it to me. I'll kill him with kindness.
That would mean
I feel like there's no possible way that could be real. Because, like, my sister used to watch that shit, and I feel like there's been multiple times where they were whooping that monkey's ass, and they needed all 3 of them, or one of them wasn't there, or whatever the case.
The entire show takes place inside of Brenda's imagination. Her bully of a brother becomes Mojo Jojo. And as you might remember, Mojo Jojo was created by Professor Utonium, meaning he's the Powerpuff Girls' big brother. So Buttercup represents Brenda's anger and desire for revenge, and on the other hand, Bubbles represents her sensitivity and sweetness. And finally, Blossom is the perfect example of what kind of girl Brenda wishes to be. Calm, beautiful, and highly intelligent. Finally, we have the mayor, who represents Brenda's helplessness and desire to ask for external.
My powers are not a gift, but a curse. Black Adam, you can be the destroyer of this world.
External help. So Brenda has elected him mayor because both of them are very similar. This theory fits so well with every detail, it's hard to believe it's not true.
I think that one's like right in the middle, honestly. You could believe it, but I never really watched
Number 6. The Rugrats are all in Angelica's imagination. Have you heard of the Rugrats never happened theory? It's a conspiracy that started on Tumblr, and it basically speculates that the babies in the TV show were all made up by Angelica to cope with her absentee parents.
Bye, kids.
Interact socially with Tammy.
Tumblr user Radio Retaliation explains it this way. Chucky died with his mother, which explains why his father is such a neurotic, nervous wreck. Tommy was a stillborn baby. That would explain why Stu, his father, is always in the basement making new toys for the son he never had the chance to meet and play with. And finally, the DeVilles had an abortion, and because Angelica had no way of knowing the gender of the baby, she opted for both. Twins, a little boy and a little girl. This one's giving me goosebumps. This theory completely changes the tone of a seemingly innocent and fun children's cartoon.
Ooh, that should give me goosebumps. Like, what if that was real?
Basically, Angelica was building an entire group of friends in her head. Friends that could have been around her, but death took them away. And in ad-lib thought, she's also able to take out her aggressions on them, and they can't abandon her. It's a little too dark for a toddler to watch, don't you think? Number 5. Ash from Pokemon is in a coma. This theory revolves around the fact that in the first episode of Pokemon, Ash fell into a coma after being hit with Pikachu's supercharged thunder attack. It wasn't Pikachu's intention to hit Ash, of course. The idea was to hit a flock of Spearow, but somehow it backfired. So some people believe that everything that happens after this event is simply Ash dreaming from a hospital bed where he will be in a state of coma for years. One of the facts that supports this theory is that Ash never grows older and never changes his appearance.
Who, me? I thought it was awesome.
During the first season, he says at one point that he's 10 years old, and he remains that age all throughout the rest of the seasons. If a kid falls into a coma, it's logical that it will remain his age in his head until he wakes up again. It would also explain Nurse Joy and Officer Jenny being exactly identical everywhere he goes. The explanation of them all being identical sisters is highly improbable. What if they're figments of his imagination? Another strange thing that supports this theory is the fact that Ash never progresses past a certain point, which is very suspicious. Number 4.
I could actually I could see that one, but it can't be true because they just recently released that they're gonna be ending Pokemon. Well, not Pokemon, but Ash and Pikachu, and then we're gonna get 2 new can't even think of the word right now, but Pokemon Chasers or whatever, and then we're gonna get a whole new show of same Pokemon, just new people. So if it was in his dream, then that shit wouldn't be real. That debunks.
4. Peter Pan is the angel of death. Peter Pan is an all-time Disney classic. Aside from being a little bit racist, it's also hiding a secret meaning. There's a theory that stipulates that Peter Pan is actually an angel that is guiding children to heaven or Neverland.
I have a feeling a little trip to Neverland.
And that's why the kids never grow up, because they are all dead. And when you dig into the origins of the Peter Pan story, it all makes too much sense. Maybe even a little too much for comfort. It turns out Disney isn't the original creator of the story, but Scottish writer Sir James Matthew Barrie. And the original title of the book was Peter and Wendy. And Barrie lost his little brother David in a terrible ice skating accident only 2 days before his 14th birthday. The two brothers were very close, and this loss deeply affected both Barrie and his mother, who took solace in the idea that their son would never grow old this way. Knowing this, it becomes evident that David could have been a strong source of inspiration for Peter Pan. But there's more. When we look into the name Peter Pan, we quickly realize that Pan was an ancient Greek god. Pan was a mischievous deity of the woodlands and is often associated with innocence and immortality. Because Barry's no longer around, we can't really
I'm not interrupting the video because I'm trying to understand this shit too. So if you want
ask him if this theory is true, but there's a very big chance that Peter Pan is in fact an angel of death. No.
It's funny because that's not new either. That's been once that movie came out, people have been saying that. I remember my aunt and my uncle telling me that when I was super young, that he was the angel of death, and just literally everything he said, but without the Greek god and all that other stuff.
Number 3. The Cars overthrew mankind. If you've seen the Pixar movie Cars, you know they're set on this planet, but at a time in the future when there are no more human beings. So what happened to us? Why are we no longer around? Was it another meteorite like the one that wiped out the dinosaurs?
See, when they do movies like this, that shit just don't make sense, bro. And it's funny that most of these are Disney movies, but bro, it's literally a cartoon, just literally a car world. It's not like they have slave humans or museums of humans. No, they have museums of dinosaur cars, museums of dinosaur people. Historic cars and shit. They don't have.
Well, there's the theory that the Cars simply took over and overthrew us.
That did not happen.
Oh yeah? Says you.
Spotify!
This theory stands as one little piece of the much larger and more complex Pixar theory that tries to tie together all of the Pixar movies, but I digress. The world where the Cars characters live has clear signs that we existed before. We created Cars for ourselves, so the movie is set on this planet. What probably happened is that we started creating smarter and smarter cars to the point that they became sentient, and when that happened, we became, well, dead weight. This theory's been backed up by Jay Ward, who's the creative director of the Cars universe. So I guess it's not a theory anymore, but a cold hard fact. The cars in the Cars franchise became smarter than us and simply took over this
I don't care what this guy says. That is
world. I bet you're gonna look at your own car differently the next time you go for a ride.
I've been getting paid $1,000 a month, if not more, just from this app on my phone.
Number 2. Ed, Edd, and Eddy are living in purgatory. The theory of Ed, Edd, and Eddy in purgatory started.
What the fuck is a purgatory? I bet y'all. I learn something new every day. Don't be hating on me. I'm gonna read it out loud because I know I'm not the only one that didn't know that. It says, a place or state of suffering inhabited by souls of sinners who are expiating their sins before going to heaven. Listen, I'm hot.
Purgatory. The theory of Ed, Ed, and Eddie in purgatory started in the year 2012, and it speculates that, basically, they're all dead. Take a look at the color of their tongues, for example. They're all blue or green. Only dead people have tongues like that. And also their skin color, which is of a strange yellowish tone, exactly like dead people. There's also the fact that there are no adults in the show. They're constantly mentioned, but they never appear, and that is very suspicious.
Stay calm, Eddie. Think. I know. I'll hide it.
And the fact that they are all in purgatory would explain the irregularities within the time frame of the cartoon. Sometimes you can see typewriters, sometimes VHS machines, and in other episodes they are using computers. And that doesn't make any sense. Usually, in a normal setting, you wouldn't use electronics from that big of a range in history. So the theory says that this happens because each character's from a different time of American history, from the 20s to the year 2000. And that's why there are so many historical discrepancies. We can't know for sure if the creator of the show explicitly did this on purpose, but it really fits. Number.
I feel like that one's not true. And I feel like I did see the parents before, but then I could be high. But I don't know. It does make sense though, because they did, like he's saying, they used to use like things from different times and stuff, like out of nowhere. Like he had a typewriter and then he would have a computer.
Number 1. Wile E. Coyote is in hell. Wile E. Coyote is a classic kids cartoon that debuted in 1949, and the show consists almost exclusively of the coyote trying to catch the Roadrunner and failing miserably time after time after time again. The Roadrunner always outwits the coyote at the last minute and gets away in a very mocking way. If you've seen this cartoon, you know that the coyote has his plans backfire in his face quite grandiosely thousands, if not millions of times. But he always seems to come back to this nightmarish world where the object of his desire is always at arm's reach, but he can never touch it. Sounds like torture, right? There's a theory that stipulates
I always wondered that because they never leave the canyon, and I always used to be like, yo, why the fuck?
it's exactly that. The coyote would actually be stuck in his own personal hell for all eternity. It almost sounds like the Greek myth of Tantalus, a punishment from the gods, doomed to eternally be thirsty but never being able to drink water. I don't know about you, but I think that eternal suffering
If you really get dark, that really could be what it is.
as the main theme for a kid's show seems a little bit dark, don't you think? I don't know about you guys, but
That's it for that video. I'm probably gonna do like 2 or 3 more videos kind of like this, and then probably leave this in the past. But appreciate everybody tuning in. Let me know what y'all think in the comments and which shows you guys, because I know we all watch different stuff. Which ones you believe or don't believe, and appreciate everybody tuning in. Check y'all out.